What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Rest in peace, the Dark Chameleon. Peace to the Listen, check it, yo. It was a cold April morning under the constellation Aries. The moon was 85% under the luminaries. From the celestial waters to the womb my soul was carried. Then my mother gave birth to a warrior visionary. But when I speak this truth, I feel like nobody hears me. Every once in a while, I give sight to someone blind, floating on the globe in the heliocentric lie. Dilate your pupils the more you open your eyes. The truth is sitting in plain sight like a disguise. Until my mother's death is revenge, I won't be satisfied. It haunts me when I think about the phone call when she died. A river worth of tears shed from my eyes. So I looked up at the sky and I asked God why. It's been 21 years, I'm still waiting for a reply. Since birth I've been at war, the attack our undeveloped minds. Indoctrination camps making us dumb, deaf and blind. I'm always thinking solutions, we are running out of time. The dirty witchcraft is weak, I see through all the lies. I clearly analyze all the symbols and the signs. When I connect dots, the truth starts to align. The people are the power, you can never eclipse my shine. I say the truth hurts, but the truth will set you free. They say hell burns and there's a one-way ticket for me. You create your heaven or hell whether or not you believe. I'm God and Satan, I have to balance out my chi. One day these seeds I plant will bloom so you can be all you can be. Never give up and always hold your head high, cause you are God, there's no need to look to the sky. What's good? So let's see. Who the fuck is Santa, right? And what's Christmas? What is Christmas? Is it Christ's Mass, right? We talked about Krampus last time. And I like this picture here because you got Santa and his rosy cheeks. And behind that mask is Satan. Just like I had a picture of Jesus like that. It was Satan with a Jesus mask on. I don't know what happened to that picture. Actually, I think it was in that book I was reading called Archons. I'm going to redo that book. It's a very good book. It's like 3 years old on my channel. Like, those videos probably get 0 views. They buried me at the bottom of the YouTube. I'm in the catacombs of YouTube. But let's where can we start with this? So much about Christmas. People say it's when Jesus was born. I mean, you kind of got the duality. If you look at Christmas as the Grinch and Santa, right? Who likes my little spinning tree? Some say that the tree is representing, I've heard so many different, the tree is representing, it's celebrating the life of trees. I've heard it's the big tree and the lights are the stars. I mean, I don't understand how you're just celebrating the life of trees when you're cutting them down, but take this off. Man, what happened here? Oh. And I can share my screen. So Krampus is supposed to be Saint Christopher. Krampus is thought to come from either Bavarian Krampen, meaning dead, rotten, or from the German Kramp or Krampen, meaning claw. The Krampus is considered to be a half goat, half demon monster in some legends, right? Satan. Its role is to punish bad children or scare them into being good. Now, I think Krampus is Santa, plays both sides. Sort of like the duality, but from one deity. People probably think Krampus and Santa are different, but when Santa wants to give, he turns to Krampus. Just like Satan and Jesus concept. It's the same thing. It's my opinion on it. It's how I see it. I know people probably argue or see it differently, and that's fine. I wonder what it would say under Wikipedia. Wikipedia. Wicca. Oh, there we go. Wicca. Talking about Wicca, it says it right here. Wiccans. You don't have to be around a magical community long before hearing such aphorisms as Wiccans don't worship Satan, and Wiccans believe the devil is an invention of the Christian church. Well, so do I. These people are unfortunately ignoring much of the history of the horned god. During the Inquisition and European witch hunts. Interesting. Oops. Witch hunts, huh? European witch hunts. Burning my ancestors. The church equated horned gods and spirits to their villainous devil in order to convert pagans to Christianity. Pan Dionysus, the Celtic Cernunnos, Janicot, and Krampus. Really, you scaring people. That's a perfect example of how fear is used to scare the masses. Fear, right? They put fear, they use fear, they pump that shit through the TV to stare you like a steering wheel, like a sheep herder. Peace, Candy, Mark Basket. Yeah, I think they created that devil out of, they were projecting their self. They was like, we're gonna say every bad thing people does is from this devil. And I think Christmas works just like, you know, when Satan or Santa wants to do, it's the same thing with religion as in holy days. When Satan wants to bless the good kids, he puts Santa on. And then to bless the bad kids, or bless, that's what you want to call it, he becomes Krampus. Just like when Satan wants to fool people, he comes as a handsome Jesus. It even said in the Bible, it would be a handsome man. I think that's Jesus. And oh, I don't want to really get into that too much. Religion. Well, we have to because Christmas. Now, Santa comes from the North Pole, right? For some reason, when I think of the North Pole, I think of the police, the pole ice, and they'd be like, freeze, right? I don't know why I always think of that. Or even a barber shop, the barber pole makes me think of the North Pole. But because it is, the barber pole is, it's the barber pole is the same as the caduceus. The barber pole spinning with the two serpents going up the pole, just like the caduceus, just like so. The Germanic god Thor. Trying to think how that has to do with any of this. I'm trying to think of where they got this concept of Santa and why. Why was this whole concept created? Um, maybe it'll say in here. Right here it says Krampus is to a greater extent a dark god associated with mischief and sorcery. In spite of how he has been portrayed, he guides and protects his followers, and was said to be a chief god in pagan witch cults, and preside over full moon esbats or esbats. What's a esbat? I'm gonna have to look this word up. Esbats. Papal bull during the Inquisition decreed him to be the devil, and he is often alluded to in the Malleus Maleficarum, Maleficarum, or the witch's hammer. So that's how Thor got aligned with this. The witch's hammer. Historically, December 5th, or Krampusnacht, was devoted to him, and people to this day speak of him prowling around and scaring children on this night. Contemporary Wiccans will likely refute any workings with Krampus or relate to him by a secret name told only to initiates of their tradition. Outside of Wicca, Krampus is featured under various names in family tradition, witchcraft as a watcher and protector against those who might do the family harm. Now, when I think about a lot of stuff and how the you tell somebody to not do something, they're more than likely going to do it. Well, I think a lot of this fear was built up, and these like evil characters were put on stuff that these people don't want us looking into. They hide the truth behind fear, I think. They create these evil deities. So they use it. They say Krampus protects them. But a religious Christian or a religious person being blind won't even look into who Krampus is, or might just demonize it automatically. They're judging a book by its cover. It's ugly, So they create these like demonic looking things, but in reality, it's nothing like that. They keep people away from the truth with fear, and they create monstrous stuff and all that, I think, to keep people away from realizing the truth, man. And it's all within you, man. It's all about you. In parts of Germany, Austria, and the Alps region, he accompanies Saint Nick on Christmas, giving beatings, really, to bad children with a stick, or carries them away in Little Red Riding Hood, never to be seen again. Damn. Carries them away in a basket, never to be seen again. Now, that's something. So you mean this guy used to go around, come down chimneys, he would roll, Satan would roll, how they're telling the story. I think they're both the same person, but the kids were bad. Santa would come down as Krampus and take the children, and they would never be seen again. Why? Damn. Where's he taking them? Oh, to the island on the North Pole. He is rumored to be the son of Hel, the Norse goddess of the underworld, and he stays there with her during much of the warmer part of the year. He is depicted as black, hairy satyr-like creature that stands on 2 cloven feet, and has a long pointed tongue that hangs out. Interesting. That tongue that hangs out. Symbolism with that also. Now, if people know the Hindu goddess has her tongue hanging out, is it Hindu? It represents chaos, I think. Then a lot of coat of arms. You see the lions or the dragons or the Gretchens. They have their tongue out. Anyway, I've showed plenty of times pictures of all that. I'm not going to go dig it out. If people want to see me synchronize them and show them, just put it in the comments, and that'll be a different video I'll have for that. Okay. Hold on. Let me check the chat. Go back. I can't see the chat. Peace be. Peace, Dominic, Scott Severini. Who else came in? All right, let me see the chat here.
Yeah. I bet you we all, Scott, I guarantee you we all figured this out when we were teenagers. That's about when I used to look at the word Santa and see Satan, believe it or not. Satan took the place on high. Christmas, I believe, is our day. Yeah, I was always taught that we don't need a holy day. That every day is our day. I used to tell people, why, one day a year you buy people gifts. If you want to, every day could be Christmas. It's just like a big money grab too for these people. Like every year since I was growing up, you see decorations come out earlier and earlier and earlier. They were putting Christmas decorations out in frickin' the beginning of November. These people start banking in October, November, and December, back to back to back, from Halloween to Thanksgiving, and Christ Mass. Peace, look within. Yeah, Michael Jordan too, with his tongue out. Yeah. And I think that's who he's paying homage to. Let me drop the stinky linky. Jordan's definitely paying homage to, I think her name was Callie, or I forgot the name, man. What a shame. I have to get some of that lion's mane to oil the brain. Yeah, Callie, I was right. Thank you, B. If anyone wants to come up, they got anything to say, I just dropped the Liz link. Okay. Or they want anything me to look up about Christmas, just let me know in the chat. Now, we're going to go into... Oops. I was supposed to do this. Oops. Esoteric meaning of Santa Claus, they say Santa Claus is an allegory about the Kundalini fire of the Holy Spirit, which is Azoth. The chimney is the spine, and the fire is the kundalini energy that is held at. Interesting. I've heard that before. They put that the story of the spine with Jesus too. The oil, the Christ oil is Santa Claus going down the chimney and then back up the chimney. Huh. Facebook. How about we don't go to Facebook and say we did? All I cared about on Christmas was presents. I seen my family every day. And my immediate family was my my uncle, and my mother, and my aunt. That's it. You know, my cousins and stuff came from a more middle class family. Like when I would come around, because I was from the streets, I had that type of, and they were more or less. Yo, what's this guy got my initials for down here? Look at this. I'm not a Leadbeater. That's his name, Charles W. Leadbeater. I have a problem with that guy now. What the hell is he using my name for? We're gonna find out who this clown is. I have to write him a letter. Cease and desist. Using my name. Yeah, I remember going to my cousin's for, and I liked going there because they had money. They were rich, and they lived in this town called Southington, Connecticut, and their backyard had this huge hill, and that's where I learned how to ski. I mean, yeah, ski on skis. And it was fun. And they had a computer. I used to print stuff out on the printer, and that was one reason why they were mad. My cousin would tell my grandp and my aunt that I'd be hogging a computer. Like, bro, you have a computer 24/7. My bum ass don't have a computer. But anyway, can't bring poor Chuck anywhere around rich people that have stuff that I didn't. Huh. Peace, Mesa Melt. Anyway, enough of my cornball stories of Christmas. Christmas is a Christian festival, it says here, right? The esoteric significance of Christmas is a Christian festival, presently celebrated on December 25th, the birth of Jesus. I mean Jesus. I mean Julius Caesar. I mean Satan. He has a lot of AKAs, this fucker. Definitely a chameleon. Shape-shifting. It is the most Christian calendar. Also the most profiting too. Unlike the church don't make enough fucking money. Now they need another parasitic holiday to leech off of your pockets. and it has become increasingly secular over the years with customs. Who cares about that? I want to hear the esoteric definition of your Santa. People Blavatsky again. Alright. That was boring. Kwanzaa. The fuck? You know, they call it Xmas. X marks the spot. But if you think about the X, that's a tipped over cross. Yes, sir. So did I, Mason Melt. And then after all my family went to the Essence, I stopped celebrating. And about 8 years ago, I learned much more about what these holidays represent. And I definitely let's see this. The Santa Claus lie. Mary Satan. Mary Santa. Let's see what this person wrote. This article came out last year. Wow, today's the 15th. So this came out a year ago. I wrote elsewhere. Who wrote this? Ruth. Her name's Ruth. I wrote elsewhere about Santa Claus lie in 2012 after hearing nonstop songs of praise and even love to Santa on the secular adult radio during Christmas. Now this year I've noticed them again. Santa baby, hurry down the chimney tonight. It's the most wonderful time of year. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, you know why she wanted him to come down that dang chimney? So she can get piped. And that's why he says, ho, ho, ho. But they get that ho. Santa comes down the chimney like a stripper on a pole. He's about to come down and get that hoe. What's up, Dominic?
Hey, Charles.
He says Santa's really a counterfeit Jesus. Trying to find more. See if I could find any like esoteric stuff. Maybe I'm asking wrong. Could have sworn the Christmas tree. They always refer to Jesus with all this stuff, but I'm pretty sure the Christmas tree was representing the North Pole and the star on it with the luminaries and the tree of life. The crown of thorns worn by Jesus. What's up? Everything's got to be aligned with Jesus. Let's look at the History Channel. They want to lie to us. Want to steal their picture. What have you heard, Dominic, about the Christmas tree and some symbology behind it?
I probably have never really offhand think about what I've heard about the Christmas tree. Obviously, there is some meaning behind it. So I'll hear you out here, actually. I did hear something about that was the way they cut them down because they had over an abundance of them, so they just jumped on the bandwagon of a particular holiday. But there could be some symbology behind it.
It says right here, the history of Christmas trees has many roots. Well, I would hope so. It's a tree. Ranging from the use of evergreens in ancient Egypt. Traditions. Huh. That made this way. So yeah, the winter solstice. That was probably the main. Maybe they were celebrating life too, because I look at it as life. It's the only thing that really.
Welcome to Bristol, Connecticut, a city that has something for
Where did that
everyone. Discover a hidden
come
New
from?
England treasure, brimming with attractions, special events, and a rich
Yo.
tapestry of history. Whether you crave the buzz of a city or the tranquility of a small town, Bristol has your perfect
up.
place. Looking to establish your business, Bristol welcomes you with open arms.
That's crazy, man. They're gonna get me in trouble. Trying to get me in trouble. was I gonna say, man? Right in the middle of me speaking.
I think you were talking
Yeah.
about the salsa holidays or something.
Yeah, the pine tree is the only tree that stays alive through the winter. So that would be a perfect tree to use to symbolize the tree of life. And yeah, I've heard they use it, like I said, to symbolize the tree at the North Pole. And the story of Santa going down the chimney and stuff, like I just read a minute ago, is the same story as Jesus, that oil going down the spine. Trying to think of other purposes of that tree. So I'm trying to look. I know there's more. Santa Claus, the great imposter. Let me look in Wikipedia. Christmas tree, not Santa Claus. There we go. Oh, so they use spruce, pine, or fir, which are all the same thing. I'm not going to show what a spruce tree looks like. I got to actually click it now. I thought I usually go with this shit. Spruce tree. Isn't this spruce tree's huge? 200 feet? Damn.
I guess to a certain point, Charles, a lot of these traditions or holidays are usually attached to commerce in a lot of ways. And then they attach it to other types of things like traditions. So they would make it into like religion of some sort, whether it's, killing of turkeys or pumpkins for Halloween.
Huh.
You always have an overabundance, and then you have like hunting season on these things. So, and then of course, building a story around it, no different when the Germans used to build a story, that this creature's coming out from the forest and they're going to treat the kids that are bad. It's kind of like the Village kind of movie. You make up a story to keep your kids in line, and then eventually those kids become adults, and then they reinforce it. So your sheeple, hate to say that, or us mouth breathers are staying in line. And yeah, some of them probably have some.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
My mom did it to me. You hit it spot on, Dominic. My mom used to do that with religion to me to keep me in line. God's watching.
Mm-hmm. But who better to pair it opposed to somebody else's naive themselves? Dare not give pushback. Well, that's just what we do. We hang lights up on outside. Why? We hang this, this horrible creature outside and we call it Halloween. I get it. We can play with words like Satan and all that, but what is that whole thing about the costume being red? Is that the lower chakra? A man that's in a white beard? Is that
I never looked at it like that. Hold on.
Like we can make a
Isn't
we
the
can,
root chakra red?
yep.
Huh.
You know, and it could just be one big game that certain upper class people play on us to see to see if any of us practice all that kind of stuff. And they say, yeah, they're in line. It's like forcing people to go into the main center to watch somebody get beheaded. You know, people think they did that voluntarily. No, they did it because if they didn't, that means you weren't in agreement with what was being practiced. You know. And if you're actually needing the land to be cleared,
Brotherhood.
Yep, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I thought you were done. I was just saying the Brotherhood of Blackheads. I never heard of them. Go ahead, Dominic. Sorry.
Like I said, if you needed to clear off land, you know, how better? It's like when they do with soy, you know, promote it to the masses, you know, feed it to the cattle, which would be us. Then we look surprised. Well, if we were growing our own foods, we wouldn't worry about eating something that we would know that's not healthy for us. So these traditions, that's all they are. They're traditions that most people don't really question. And when they start doing it, either they'll stop doing it or they'll, I don't know, maybe change it, I guess, if it's important. Like there's so many holidays. I'm like, why?
I think a lot of them were created to obtain money.
Probably now, but back then it would have been a different form. You know, it would have been some sort of the barter. You know, how do we get our citizens to move tomatoes around, or you know, feel as though we've done something for them? So we'll allow them to celebrate a holiday, and yeah, and they'll make a gain out of it, and some of it would be money, but it was always never really just about money. You know, it's about control. You know, are they following us? You know, they don't get you with religion; they'll get you with state. And if they don't get you with that, they have the all-encompassing commerce, you know. Selling ideals is commerce. So selling the ideal of state and religion is commerce. And then you need all these little subdirectories like Christmas, you know, Lent, Ramadan, you know, the Ash or whatever, what the Jews do, they put the little cube on their heads. You know, even the Saturn ideal is another selling ideal. Whether or not there is entities behind that, that's another story. Myths. That's how myths come to be to a certain part, Charles. You know, think about people that watch sci-fi now. That's another myth. People are going to start, well, there's aliens. Well, there could be, but how does that serve you to know that there's something coming from the sky or somewhere else? Pretty soon we're going to have bobbleheads of flat earthers and globalists. And they'll put that under the tree.
You see this?
Go ahead. Sorry.
This tree right here, Dominic?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I think our realm. I think we might be on a big tree to this extent. I forgot the name of this other tree, but it's the one that Thor, the Vikings, and Odin and Thor and all them, that type of tree. There's a different one than this. It has levels. The Germans, let me see if I can. Christmas originally was celebrating the tree of life. At the North Pole. I could be wrong. I don't know. My fault. That means to interrupt. What you were saying. Oh, excuse me.
You could say it there, tree of life. They're literally talking about a giant tree of some sort, and it's kind of like an iceberg. How much do you actually see it above the earth? So those trees would have been quite rooted underground. They would have been majestic trees of some sort, and things like redwood trees and sequoia trees would have looked like really small little bushes to it. You know, whether they're just made in like what we call bark. You know, that's why when people see those mountains that are being cut off, what were they? You know, and did that change the atmosphere here? would there have literally giants been able to exist because of those kind of trees? But I'm glad you're questioning these traditions, Charles, because a lot of people do just aimlessly follow it. Here, I'll force my kid to be on top of some total stranger's lap. Like, are you prepping them for lap dancing for later on in life?
I used to cry when my mother taking me to stand. I didn't want to.
Rightfully so. That would be the appropriate.
Shit, man.
Yeah. I don't want to go on that guy's lap. And then he's going to whisper in my ear too, like my uncle. Get out of here with that crap. I say that jokingly, but
now that I think about it, it's a man coming down to children, like. Yeah, people hate chomos, but not Santa.
mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
And then people feel obligated. Well, we have to do that. We got to cut down a tree. We got to wrap all these gifts. I get to give gifts to my kids that shouldn't every day be a gift, but no, I got to, and then be in debt. I'm just using some of the example that probably some family members go through. And then we got to overeat.
Right, gluttony.
Yeah.
Tell me that the 7 sins don't go along. Now, I'm gonna see how many main major holidays there are. I could guarantee you there's almost 7, and it'll align with the 7 sins. Someone had said this, and it blew my mind because I was like, man, I never looked at it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
And Charles, most people will never look at those things regardless.
And these neighbors are noisy.
Mm-hmm.
So I hate. Well, I don't hate, but I don't like wooden floors in apartment buildings because you could hear your neighbor fart.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah, they usually, back in those days, if it's old, they never made it soundproof of anything. That's why they make a lot of buildings out of concrete to dampening that noise a little bit.
Let's see. It says 11 major holidays. Yeah, good old 11. The 2 pillars. Now they say there's 3 pillars in Freemasonry, and I was looking into the Masonic symbol yesterday, and it said 46. Was it 46 degrees? Because I know there's 2 90-degree angles, which is the level and the square.
Mm-hmm.
2 90-degree angles is 180 degrees, which is half of a full circle.
Mm-hmm. Square in that circle. Square in that circle.
I was just thinking, why do they have 46 degrees? I don't know.
Well, let's say you did. When you're saying 90 degrees, what's 9 and 0? 9. What's 180 degrees? 180. 9. 360 degrees? 360. 9.
Damn.
So, yeah.
That's true. Holy shit.
Yeah, 45 degrees, 4 and 5, 9. Again, that's the spiritual meeting the material. And when they talk about the 3rd pillar, they're talking about you being in the middle. It's like a clock, 13 points. People forget the one in the middle is the 13th point. We always have to remember, we have to include ourselves in it. This is why when you see the Chinese horoscope, well, there's not humans, because you're the human. You're the one that's reading all of that.
I forgot how that goes. There was something, any number plus would come out to 9. I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, what was it?
I can share with you. You multiply anything with number 9 and add up all the numbers after it. It'll work its way back to number 9. So 9 times 9 is 81. 8 plus 1 is 9. Then you could do things like 2 times 9 is 18. 1 and 8 is 9. Always ends up back to number 9. It's only time it doesn't work that way is when you multiply with the initial 0. Outside of that, all the other ones, they go back to number 9. You could put 0.5 and times 9. So no matter how big the number is, as long as you multiply by 9, it will always add up back to number 9. Hence the term completion, perfection.
9. People say when they count 1 to 10, bro, 0 to 9. 10 is the first. But there's a 1 in front of it. 10, 1. It starts with 0. Then you got 11, 1, 12, 2. My friend was like, "Oh man, I never looked at it like that." I said, "Yeah, me neither."
Mm-hmm.
It was new to me about 10 years ago.
So everything is in, what is the word to use? In plain sight. You can see it, you can know it, doesn't mean you're going to understand it or comprehend it. It takes a little bit of more effort. You have to go inwards, but a lot of us get distracted with all our justifications or excuses. I got to go to work. That's just the way it is. Well, take it for what it is, but you could still at least ponder it. And again, that comes down to, Charles, not everybody's capable of grasping certain types of information. Like I'm not going to understand surgery, for example. I could ask a guy that's a surgeon and I know enough to ask questions and it'll benefit him and I'll just pick up certain little things. But outside of that, I can never profess to say I understand surgery. That's where the ego forgets its place. I can't learn every language in the world. And let's say I know what people speak, like French, Germanic, all these different languages. I know about it, but it doesn't mean I understand them. This is where people think knowledge is power. Knowledge is the start of any pursuit. It's like numbers. You can use numbers. It doesn't mean people understand numbers actually have energy with them.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead, Charles.
I would say New Year's. I was listening to what you're saying. It says there's 11 major holiday. I'm not buying that. I think there's 7. We could count the 7 sins. New Year's. Thanksgiving, New Year's, Christmas, Halloween. That's 4.
Thanksgiving.
I said Thanksgiving. No, wait. Christmas, New Year's, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Easter. That's 5. I don't know if I want to put Independence Day because of the 4th of July. And then the 7th would be, I don't know.
And again, from what part of the world? Some cultures do not practice Christmas. The Chinese celebrate on a floating New Year's Day kind of ideal. Fool's Day, there's another one. I don't know if that's technically a celebrated day. April's 1st.
Look at this day. I'm not even going to say it, but the picture I got up here. Like, what are you going to celebrate on this day? Misery, right? What is there to remember? It was a fucked up day. Like, they always want to, celebrate fucked up days and shit. Like, turn it into a holiday,
Now, those are man-made days. Now, I'm pretty sure there used to be, seasonal days, like equinox and all that kind of stuff. When the sun is it dying or living? I guess that 3-day where people depictuate it. That's when Christ died. Those are days. All the different moon days, I guess those would be some sort of celebration. No, you give us cattles a day off. You have too many weekends off. That's it. Unfortunately, that's what it is, Charles.
Thanksgiving, right? You know how they get the turkeys fat all year round? Yeah, well, they get us fat. They bring us to the slaughterhouse too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the turkeys aren't happy.
No,
You know,
what's this?
we all sit around. Well, not me per se, but a lot of people sit around and not realizing there's some sort of ritual sacrifice. There's some poor creature in the middle, and then we look at funny things when the elites do one of their little spiritual cooking, and they put a person that looks like a cake in between, not realizing we're doing the same thing.
So December 22nd, which is coming up, is the solstice day. Now, I think that's pretty much what the true celebration is. Winter solstice, and the sun is not Jesus, it's the actual dang sun. And the birth of the sun. And doesn't it start coming back north too? Yeah, on that day. It reaches its fullest southern. It's also the darkest day too. And doesn't it reach its southernmost point, and then bing, it starts to come back. I think after December 22nd, the sun's on its way back. And in some parts, because of it going to the southernmost point, the North Pole is dark for 3 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's resurrected. You'll start to see, sunlight again after 3 days of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the sun never comes back. Oh, that'd be crazy.
Well, that polarity, if that's a magnet up there or some sort of crystal going up or down, will determine whether or not you're going to feel heat or cold, or absence of it, because I think there's a magnetic puppy below us. Again, Charles, a lot of people will reinforce it. I went to the beach. I got a suntan. I said, so how does it really work? Because it's cold up there. So how does that whole concept work? Sadly, we're not really that smart of a species. Easy to trick or mislead. But the few that actually become aware of it.
Yeah. Gullible as fuck. Including myself.
Well, we all are.
I was gullible.
Yeah. We've had maybe a couple of veils removed from us, but to try to explain to somebody else that they're unaware that they've been in some sort of, what I'll use a cult kind of ideal. So how do we explain that to somebody else? Oh yeah, well, that's not how the moon works. That's not how fiat currency work. And then go even beyond that, all that. Okay, well, what are they talking about? Evil spirits, material spirits, downloads. There could be, people that come into the video game. There's spiritual demons and there's material demons. But are they there to serve? We think angels are here to help. How do we not know they're the ones that are supposed to entrap us? And the demons are the ones that said, no, we're trying to get you out of this joint.
Right, backwards. That's what I think these people do with a lot of stuff.
It could be. And yeah.
Like I don't know why we thought like that. Even as a teenager, I would think like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, wait a minute. What's so?
Mm-hmm.
When you really start to realize, you start my teenage years, praising a God that murders and slaughters everyone, but then you look at this so-called evil guy Satan. I don't even think he has one murder under his belt in that book. He might. I might be wrong, but compared to the millions and billions that God has, that everyone, thou shalt not kill, and you're getting those orders from a hypocrite. Practice what you preach. The creator, let me not say the creator, God in that Bible, definitely don't practice what he preaches.
That's kind
creator,
of
I don't look at it like the God in that Bible. I separate The true creator is nothing like the God in that Bible.
If I can give a different spin on that, Charles, whatever that we'll call it demigod or God is, give over your will to me, meaning that thou shalt not kill, because I, the God, will be doing all the judging here. It's not hypocrisy. He's trying to tell his people, I will actually strike down those people that do not follow me. It's not your role to judge. Judging, killing another human being, that's a judgment. Because most of us don't have discernment. Do we flee from a situation or do we combat it and then form more karma? That's why the Israelites weren't able to go into the promised land, because they were shedding blood. So whatever God that they were following understood something. And this is why people get all caught up. Well, he's a God, he's a hypocrite. Fucking got a clue what these fucking gods can do or can't do. They can shapeshift, they can do whatever they want. It'll be like an animal trying to tell me what to do. I said, unfortunately, you're in that form. So if I treat you well, it's because I choose to treat you well. If I choose that I want to honor, kill you, that's my choice. That's why I kind of say jokingly, tongue in cheek, most humans are disobedient. Now, if they want to be on their own, which is fine, the question is, who created you then?
My mother, my father.
Okay, go with that. But who gave the concept of a sperm and an egg?
I don't know.
I know. And then on top of that, let's say you do get born. Who's the one that's supplementing all the food in this realm? See, people think that they're independent. They've never been independent in this realm. Now, if we want to play with the idea that you were in that womb, then we have to understand, why do they use horoscopes from the time I actually enter the vessel? Or why don't we go 9 months back? Because we're not those things. This is why it's been taught.
Horoscope.
Mm-hmm.
What's so horrible about it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only thing is, Charles, a lot of these people, or not a lot of people, the few are trying to keep the program running. The few are trying to help people be aware. But the issue's always been and always will be, it's the masses. They're the ones that reinforce all of these holidays. These are the ones that bitch and complain about GMO. What's their part in all of that? Pointing fingers? I don't agree with the elites. Okay, you don't agree with also the people that are trying to help you become aware? Well, they're not bothering me. I said, okay. So how are the elites bothering you? Because most of them aren't even in our countries. The only people we're going to see are our own police officers, firemen. We're the ones that reinforce all of these holidays.
The actions. We always pay for their fucking actions, man. That they could live in the fucking.
True. I'm not going to disagree with that, Charles. But the thing is, it's our parents that are reinforcing these holidays. And is it really fair to blame somebody who was just as naive as us? But once a person becomes aware of it, then they stop doing it. Now that becomes even more challenged now, because you're going to realize the energy going around other people. When you go to a mall and see all these different Christmas trees up there, now you're aware of the crazy house that you've been in the whole time. And there's no way you're going to change those people. You're just not. You're not going to say, well, Halloween, is it supposed to be the Day of the Dead? Are we celebrating the Day of the Dead? What are the dead? Are they just in another realm? It'll be like somebody explaining to me exactly how Wi-Fi really works, how the energy works. How would we explain that to anybody, even in this group? It would be a challenge. I try. I share things, but in the end, I just think I'm being a fool. But it's nice to entertain, like Santa Claus. No, I don't see it.
Oh, I forgot. Damn it! This whole time, man, I've been thinking everyone's looking at what.
Oh, sorry. I should have told you that. I didn't hear that. I didn't. By the way, Charles, I got to take off.
No, I thought
the best. Mm-hmm.
No, it's all right. I just wanted to show
I posted something in the
bridge.
I posted something in the private chat for you, Charles. So.
Okay. You see the bridge now?
I see a picture of Santa Claus. The kids on the one side. No, I don't see the bridge yet.
Okay, it's coming. What the hell's taking so long? Come on. There we go. It's gonna buffer into existence. Come on, man. There we go. This is a 17-arch bridge. It's made in Beijing. This is every year around the winter solstice. There will be a golden white hole spectral of the summer palace. Winter solstice is the sun one day. The winter solstice in Beijing at noon, the sun 34. What is that? 4 degrees latitude. I don't know. When the builders of the marble bridge, which elaborate design, the setting sun, and the marble 17-arch bridge, which the Tropic of Capricorn, so when the sun sets, the maximum 17-arch bridge, which every little tunnel or golden light pierced the strange landscape. It attracts a large number. Yeah, so what's so special about this? I thought this bridge would be, the sun rotates on the angle. The sun would travel all the way to the right and then turn around and go back to the left, but I guess I was wrong. I thought it was sun. But I guess it's time of year lights the entire bridge. Okay. Whatever. I thought it was more special than that. Oh. Well, thanks for coming up, Dominic. Black Lives Matter Day. Fuck that garbage. I don't need a day to know that somebody's life matters, you know? And you know, it's crazy that today is with someone this morning about that whole movement, and I didn't even know today was that day, you know. And I was telling the guy, if you know, that whole movement, they give them a day. Those people robbed so. How dare them even have the balls to celebrate that day? Anyway. I think that bridge is interesting for winter solstice. The bridge was where they, you know, I thought it would light up one hole at a time, but I guess I'm wrong. I don't know. I celebrate the winter solstice. Yep, that's how we do it. We get booted out. That's how we do it. We just boot you out, Chuck. Right in the middle of you speaking. The Great War in Heaven only mentioned, not really discussed. Each country represents a different affected culture. That's why. Different beliefs from one country to another. Yeah, I was trying to bring up the whole look at this picture of Santa. Huh. But this whole thing about, oh yeah, the war in heaven. I think a lot of these countries were different parts of this tree. There's something with these big trees. Now, I know they're celebrating winter solstice, and I know I heard something about the celebration of the pine tree, because the pine tree is one of the only trees besides like the fir, or what was the other one? It was pine, the fir, and the spruce live through the winter. So what better tree to pick to represent the tree of life? But the other tree of life is your spine, and then the other tree of life is in the woman, which is the placenta. And then the other tree of life's at the North Pole. And then there's another tree of life in your garden. Kimba don't even come up and show love anymore. Kimba, Price. I don't know. Lately, I haven't been on my grind that hard. My whole enthusiasm has went out the window. There's so much negative energy. Black Lives Matter. BLM Day. That's fucking something else, man. These holidays, you either are celebrating a bunch of death and they find ways to bank off of it. But I guess I'll just end this live. People don't seem too interested in this topic, and I guess people are busy because no one's coming up. So probably end it in like 5 minutes. Go work on some music. That picture there with the Germanic god Thor, but then it shows someone going down a chimney. Yeah, I heard about that too, Mark. If he runs for president, anyone could run for president. Like, what the fuck can that clown do for our country? We don't need clowns like that running for president. We need businessmen and people that stand on the Constitution to run. People that care about the people. But I ain't even gonna front, man. I've been lost all hope, or I've lost all hope, yeah, in the system being fixed. It's done. It's cooked. It's over with. There's no fixing the system. You know, we could get rid of all these people and then change who's in their positions, and there'd be some clown that'll come along and re-cook up what already happened. There's always going to be a selfish, evil motherfucker who's going to take that power position they're given and use it in their advantage. So, best bet is to just worry about yourself. It's all the same, Candy. Religion, politics, it all manipulates you into waiting on the savior. That's the problem. Is people need to look within themselves and realize the only person that's gonna save you is yourself. In politics, people want to lean on someone that's gonna change everything, and that's the hypocrite in politics. Is they say the people are the power and we run the country, but continuously leaning on a politician to do stuff to make the change for the people when we should be making the change. Fuck a politician. But that's the way the society is trained, to obey authority, even if it's wrong. Just shut up and go with it. And it's just it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's a parasite. The system is a parasite. Once it leeches onto you, it'll consume you. Once it's done consuming you, it'll get rid of you. Go to the next and on to the next. You know, this parasite has been jumping from person to person for how many centuries now, or decades? But Yeah, I agree. That's what they say politics was for. But I'm starting to think that was the illusion, the dream. That's the illusional dream they sold the people. And the people went for it. You know, they tell you, oh, just tell you what you want to hear, while the magicians are fooling us with one hand and doing stuff behind our back with the other. Yeah, I agree with that. And religion played a big part, Candy, with not holding them accountable, because now everyone thinks they're going to go to hell, this fictional hell that the real hell is created within self. People think that these people are going to pay for what they've done in hell one day, and Jesus is going to come solve all the problems. And that, I think that's when most people stopped holding them accountable. You know, and we've tried to tell people, but people don't want to listen. You know, they don't think these people. A lot of people don't think these people are evil, and a lot of people don't even realize they're poisoning everything. You know, you got pharmakia doing witchcraft and all this shit, man. But the only the only time shit's gonna change is when we make it change. Ha! Only 2 weeks. That's it. Yeah, I don't know if the realm is real or not. I'm not gonna act like. But I did try to close my eyes and walk through a wall, and I realized it's gotta be real. You know, we could be like the Matrix or Avatar. Who knows? But I don't know. I guess I'll end the live. Dominic was busy, and I gotta start coming up with better presentations. I used to like just jumping on here and freestyling. Well, I'm starting to realize I can't do that all the time. I gotta start preparing stuff. I want to do. I want to have way better presentations. You know, people love heaven so much, but I tell my religious friends, you don't even know what's in heaven. I said that God you worship dumped all the shit right onto us. All the disobeying angels and all these evil, dumped it all on the earth. Shit flushed the toilet right onto the earth. So if that filth came from heaven, who knows what else is, you know? Maybe heaven's here and hell's up there. But I don't know. Peace to everybody in the chat. In the groove, Candy, Scott Severini, Mark Basket. Appreciate everyone. Kimba, Dominic, Mesa Melt, and B. Hell is cold. But I don't know. I'm out of here, everyone. Thanks for coming through. And I gotta go work on some music and edit that chapter and upload it. And I appreciate all you guys. Have a good day, night, morning, and I'll see y'all later.